There are moments in your life when you can sense it, something feels off. People around you smile, but their eyes don't match their words. You can feel the weight of whispers behind your back, the shifting energy in the room when you walk in. You can't explain it, but deep down, your spirit knows something is being plotted against you. Something unseen. Something unfair. But before the trap could even close, God had already seen it. Yes, they thought they could bring you down. They thought their manipulation, their gossip, their schemes would destroy your peace. But what they didn't know was this: you are not walking blind, you are walking under divine surveillance. God saw every hidden plan before they were even spoken. Sometimes the trap isn't physical, it's emotional, mental, spiritual. It's designed to drain you, to make you question your worth, to pull you out of alignment with your purpose. You might not even recognize it at first because it comes disguised as a friend, as an opportunity, as a helping hand. But God saw through it all. He saw who was pretending to be loyal but secretly envied you. He saw who smiled at you but planned to replace you. He saw the conversations you weren't meant to hear, the jealousy you couldn't detect, and the traps set behind your back. And while they were busy digging your pit, God was already building your bridge over it. They thought you were alone, but you were covered. They thought they could harm you quietly, but God turned their whispers into your warning. What they meant for evil, He is about to turn into your elevation. You see, God doesn't always stop people from plotting against you. Sometimes He lets them go far enough to expose themselves. Sometimes He allows you to see the truth, not to break you, but to free you. Because when you know who's not for you, you can finally move without carrying fake love on your shoulders. That's why the betrayal had to happen. That's why they had to walk away. That's why things had to fall apart, not because God abandoned you, but because He was saving you from what you couldn't see. When people lay traps, they forget one thing: you belong to a God who never sleeps. He neither slumbers nor takes His eyes off you. While they were whispering lies, He was writing protection. While they were setting up plans, He was dismantling their foundation. Some of the worst traps come in the form of sudden opportunities. Doors that look golden but lead to emptiness. People who say, "I just want to help," but actually want control. Situations that promise quick rewards but cost your peace. And sometimes, when God blocks those things, you get frustrated. You think, "Why did that fail? Why didn't that relationship work? Why did I lose that chance?" But what if it wasn't a loss? What if it was divine interception? God saw what you didn't. He saw the intentions behind what looked innocent. He saw how that one yes could have led to destruction. So, He intervened, silently, invisibly, mercifully. You thought it was rejection, but it was protection. They had a plan. But God had a purpose. And His purpose overrides every plan set against you. That's why no weapon formed against you shall prosper. Not because weapons don't form, but because they can't function without His permission. Let's be real, sometimes the trap is emotional. It's people trying to manipulate your kindness, guilt-trip your heart, or make you question your worth. You keep giving, forgiving, showing up, thinking love will fix them. But God whispers, "Stop. You're not being kind, you're being drained." That's the moment He opens your eyes. Because He loves you too much to let you stay where you're constantly hurt. And then there's the spiritual trap, the one that comes in the form of distraction. The enemy knows he can't destroy you, so he tries to deter you. He'll place comfort where you need growth. He'll place temptation where you need discipline. He'll make you settle for average when God called you to greatness. But even then, God steps in. Sometimes, He'll make everything fall apart just to pull you out of a fake blessing. You'll cry asking, "Why me?" And He'll say, "Because I saw what you couldn't." God is not late. He is precise. He doesn't react, He anticipates. The trap that was meant to destroy you will become the testimony that defines you. The betrayal will lead to breakthrough. The rejection will redirect you. The pain will produce purpose. Remember Joseph, betrayed by his brothers, thrown into a pit, sold as a slave. To them, it was over. But God saw it first. What looked like a trap was actually transportation. Every painful step was a move toward destiny. That's how God works. He doesn't just save you from the trap, He turns it into a training ground. Every time they thought you'd fall, He was preparing you to rise higher. Every closed door wasn't punishment, it was redirection. Every painful goodbye wasn't loss, it was protection. You're not unlucky. You're covered. You're not forgotten. You're hidden for a reason. God hides His chosen ones when the enemy is searching for them. And that's what He's been doing for you, keeping you unseen until the right season. Because if you were revealed too soon, you'd have been attacked too early. They think they've won because they don't see you anymore. But what they don't realize is that God has you in incubation. While they're laughing at your silence, heaven is preparing your reappearance. And when you come back, you won't come back the same. You'll come back wiser, stronger, elevated, anointed. You'll come back with clarity. You'll come back knowing exactly who belongs with you and who doesn't. The trap they set will become the table God sets before you. That's why Psalm 23 says, "You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies." Not after they're gone, but while they're watching. Because God wants them to see that every attempt to destroy you only multiplied your favor. They tried to bury you, but they didn't know you were a seed. They tried to expose you, but God covered you in grace. They tried to break your name, but He wrote it in heaven. They tried to silence your voice, but He amplified your purpose. When God is for you, no trap can hold you. No lie can define you. No plot can stop you. Because every move the enemy makes is already accounted for in God's plan. You may not understand why certain people changed, why situations turned dark, why the ones you trusted most betrayed you. But one day, you'll look back and say, "Now I see. God saw it first. He saw what you didn't. He heard what you couldn't. He moved in silence, because not everything He saves you from can be explained. Some things you'll only understand after the storm passes. And here's the truth, the deeper your calling, the darker the traps. The more light you carry, the more shadows try to reach you. But none of them succeed, because your life isn't controlled by the enemy's traps, it's guided by God's timing. Every setback was a setup. Every betrayal was exposure. Every loss was redirection. Every delay was protection. So don't be bitter about what didn't work out. Don't be angry about who walked away. Don't be discouraged because it feels like nothing is moving. God is working, quietly, strategically, powerfully. They may think they're ahead, but remember, God never loses sight of His own. He saw the message they sent behind your back. He saw the deals they made to exclude you. He saw the lies they spread to break your reputation. And one by one, He's dismantling it all. The same people who whispered your downfall will soon witness your restoration. The same mouths that spoke lies will have to speak truth. The same hands that dug your pit will be forced to applaud your rise. And when it happens, don't gloat. Don't seek revenge. Just smile and say, "God saw it first." Because He did. Before you even knew danger existed, He was already protecting you. So today, don't be afraid of the traps laid in secret. Don't fear the unseen. Because you walk with the One who sees all things. He saw the storm before it formed. He saw the betrayal before the handshake. He saw the attack before the enemy thought of it. You are not defenseless, you are divinely guarded. You are not vulnerable, you are under divine surveillance. Every time they try again, God sees it again. And every time, He makes a way of escape. So walk boldly. Live freely. Rest deeply. Because the same God who saw the trap is the same God who's leading you through it unharmed. They have laid a dangerous trap for you, but God saw it first. And because He saw it first, you will not fall. You will not fail. You will rise untouched, undefeated, unshaken. Because no matter how dangerous their plans are, your protection was written before their plot began. And maybe lately, you've been feeling this strange heaviness, like something around you has shifted. You can't explain it, but the air feels different. People who once called you every day suddenly became quiet. Energy that used to feel warm now feels cold. Doors that once opened easily now resist your touch. You've been questioning yourself, wondering if you did something wrong. But the truth is you didn't. God is just rearranging your surroundings because He saw something you didn't. He saw conversations you were never meant to hear. He saw intentions behind smiles that weren't pure. He saw motives behind favors that weren't sincere. And so, He began to separate you, not to isolate you, but to insulate you. Because the higher He plans to take you, the less noise you can carry. Sometimes, when God starts to protect you, it feels like punishment. You start losing people you thought were permanent. You start feeling distant from the places you used to belong. But what if that distance is divine protection? What if God is removing you before the trap activates? You see, the enemy never announces his plans, he whispers them in secret. But the Spirit of God hears everything. Before the arrow leaves the bow, God already has a shield raised. Before the words of slander even reach your name, God already has truth prepared to clear it. Before they move against you, God already moved for you. That's why you survived things that should have broken you. That's why you're still standing, even after every betrayal, every disappointment, every attack. Because what they meant to destroy you only revealed how deeply you're protected. You think you stumbled through those hard seasons, but no, you were carried. You think you escaped by luck, but no, you were led. You think you found out the truth by coincidence, but no, God exposed it right on time. The trap was real. The intention was dark. The plan was detailed. But God's eyes were sharper. He saw the enemy's blueprint and said, "Not this one. This one is mine." That's why some friendships suddenly fell apart without explanation. That's why certain relationships ended before they could destroy your peace. That's why you didn't get that job you were so desperate for, because there was a hidden agenda behind it. God saw it first. Sometimes protection feels like rejection because you can't see what's being stopped behind the scenes. But if God were to show you the full picture of what He blocked, you'd fall to your knees in gratitude. Every person who lied to you, every door that closed on you, every opportunity that slipped away, none of it was a mistake. It was prevention. It was divine redirection. Because you, my friend, are chosen. And chosen people don't get to move carelessly. Every step, every connection, every opportunity is monitored by heaven. When the enemy studies you, God studies him. When he plots, God plans. When he speaks, God silences. You may not see it, but heaven has been busy protecting you from things your eyes will never witness. And that's why sometimes the people who tried to harm you end up confused, because their traps turn into their own lessons. They set it up thinking you'd walk into it, but they forgot that the ground you walk on is holy. God doesn't let His children fall into pits built by liars. In fact, He lets them fall into their own. That's how divine justice works. It doesn't always roar like thunder. Sometimes it whispers in silence and lets time do the exposing. And one day, you'll look back at all the confusion, the sudden endings, the strange rejections, the delays that made no sense, and you'll realize it was never random. It was orchestration. It was mercy in disguise. God's mercy doesn't always look like open doors. Sometimes it looks like blocked access. Sometimes mercy is being ghosted. Sometimes mercy is losing what you wanted most. Because if you had kept it, it would have crushed you. There were people you thought would walk this journey with you, but God saw their heart before you did. He saw how envy was slowly growing behind their support. He saw how they secretly compared your blessings to their own. And so, He let the friendship fade. It hurt, but it saved you. He saw the one who pretended to love you, but prayed against you. The one who clapped for your success in public but plotted your failure in private. The one who smiled when you were watching and cursed you when you weren't. God saw it first. And because He saw it, He moved you out of reach. Now you're in a season of silence. Not because you're forgotten, but because you're being fortified. You're not hidden for punishment, you're hidden for preparation. The next time you rise, it won't be fragile. It won't be temporary. It will be divine, undeniable, and unstoppable. Every word spoken against you will lose its power. Every lie told about you will unravel itself. Every hand lifted against you will drop before it touches you. Because you are protected by the one who neither slumbers nor sleeps. You've been wondering why the road got lonely. It's because God had to clear the path before your next blessing arrives. Not everyone can handle your next level. Some people love the version of you that was struggling, but not the one that's about to shine. So He's protecting your glow up. He's separating noise from purpose. He's making sure that when He blesses you next, there will be no confusion about who gets the glory. It will be all Him. Because let's be honest, some of us almost fell for the trap. The manipulation almost worked. The flattery almost deceived us. The fake opportunities almost distracted us. But somehow, at the very last moment, something inside whispered, "Don't go there." That wasn't instinct, that was God. He tugged at your spirit when your eyes couldn't see. He created sudden discomfort in situations that looked perfect. He delayed what you thought was urgent. And you didn't know why at the time, but now you do. He was saving you. Again. If only you knew how many times the enemy said, "This time, I'll get them." And heaven replied, "Not today." Because you are not a random soul on this earth. You are covered property. Heaven has your file open 24/7. And every time the enemy tries something new, God simply adds it to the list of things that will eventually work for your good. So don't fear what you don't see. Don't panic about the unknown. The same God who saw the trap first already wrote your escape route. Even if it feels like you're surrounded, remember, you're surrounded by Him. Even if it feels like you've been cornered, He is the wall that protects you. And soon, He's going to reveal exactly why He let you walk through certain seasons. You're going to see that every delay was a divine detour around destruction. Sometimes, the greatest blessings come after the greatest betrayals. Because betrayal doesn't break the chosen, it awakens them. It clears their vision. It separates genuine hearts from hidden snakes. That's why you can't go back to old spaces anymore. That's why certain conversations now feel uncomfortable. That's why peace suddenly became your priority. Because once God shows you who's who, you can't unsee it. And maybe you've been missing people who left. But what if they were never meant to stay? What if their purpose was just to push you into the next chapter, even if it meant hurting you? Every Judas plays a role in destiny. Without Judas, there would have been no cross. Without the cross, there would have been no resurrection. So don't curse what exposed you, thank it. Because it pushed you toward your calling. You didn't lose, you learned. You didn't break, you became unbreakable. You didn't fall, you were repositioned. The same trap that was meant to end you will become the testimony that elevates you. The same people who said, "You're finished," will watch you flourish. Because what they meant for evil, God meant for good. That's not just a verse, it's a pattern. It's how He works. He takes what's meant to destroy and transforms it into destiny. He takes tears and turns them into tools. He takes pain and molds it into power. That's why your story isn't over. The battle you're in right now is just evidence that heaven has marked you. You're not being attacked because you're weak. You're being attacked because you're important. And the enemy only lays traps for those who carry treasure. But God saw it first. And He's making sure that not only will you survive it, you'll thrive because of it. You're about to step into a season where everything that was hidden will be revealed. Every secret conversation about you will be exposed. Every plan that was set in darkness will be brought into light. Not to humiliate your enemies, but to glorify your God. Because He wants the world to know that when He covers someone, no power of darkness can uncover them. You'll walk into rooms that were once closed to you. You'll receive calls from people who once ignored you. You'll see tables being prepared in front of those who doubted you. And you won't need to say a word. Your peace will speak. Your blessings will speak. Your presence will speak. Because when God lifts you, no one can pull you down. When He promotes you, no one can demote you. When He anoints you, no one can undo it. So hold your head high. Stop worrying about what they're doing in secret. Stop fearing the unseen. Because your protection is not in your position, it's in your connection. As long as you stay connected to God, every trap turns into testimony. Every curse sent your way returns empty. Every attempt to block you becomes fuel to bless you. Every time they say, "This will destroy them," heaven laughs. Because you can't destroy what God defends. You are not behind. You are not forgotten. You are being divinely positioned. Every setback was a setup. Every silence was a strategy. Every delay was direction. So let them talk. Let them plan. Let them whisper. You just keep walking. Keep trusting. Keep glowing. Because while they're building traps, God is building your table. And soon they'll see it. They'll watch you rise from the ashes they thought would bury you. They'll see grace dripping from places they tried to break. And they'll have no choice but to admit, God was with them. Because indeed He was. He is. And He always will be. The trap didn't work. The betrayal didn't break you. The loss didn't destroy you. Because God saw it first, and He already turned it into your victory. You survived not because you were strong, but because He was watching. You made it not because luck favored you, but because grace followed you. And from this day forward, walk knowing this: every hidden attack is already seen. Every silent enemy is already known. Every weapon formed is already disarmed. They have laid a dangerous trap for you, but God saw it first. And because He saw it, no harm will touch you, no lie will define you, and no force will stop you. Because you are chosen. You are covered. You are His. And what belongs to God can never be destroyed. And one day soon, you'll realize why God let certain storms rage while He stayed silent. You'll look back at the moments you cried and begged for answers, and you'll understand, His silence wasn't absence. It was protection. He wasn't ignoring you. He was intercepting attacks you didn't even know were forming. He was blocking conversations that were never meant for your ears, redirecting paths that were never meant for your feet, and closing doors that would have led you straight into destruction. You see, the hand of God doesn't always show up with thunder and lightning. Sometimes it shows up quietly, in a delay, in a sudden no, in an uneasy feeling that keeps you from saying yes too soon. That's God saying, I see the trap. Don't step there. They thought they were clever. They thought you'd walk right into it. But how can you fall when the same God who created time itself is walking ahead of you? How can you be destroyed when your life is written in the hands of the Almighty? You can't. They'll look confused when their plans crumble. They'll wonder why their schemes never succeed. They won't understand that you are surrounded by an invisible army, angels positioned on every side. When they spoke your name in darkness, light responded. When they whispered curses, heaven sent protection. You've been through too much for nothing. Every heartbreak, every betrayal, every lonely night was not wasted, it was preparation. God was teaching you to recognize fake peace from real purpose, temporary comfort from eternal calling. He was sharpening your discernment so that when you walk into your next season, you'll see the trap before it's even set. And that's where you are now, not broken, but awakened. Not bitter, but wiser. Not wounded, but stronger. Because everything that was meant to break you has built something powerful inside you. You've learned how to hear the warning before the danger. You've learned how to pray instead of panic. You've learned that when people turn against you, it's often a sign that God is turning the page. So don't worry about who's plotting. Don't stress about who's pretending. The same God who saw it first will also finish it last. He started your story, and He'll make sure it ends in victory. The trap may have been set, but the path of the righteous is guarded. Every step you take now is guided by divine eyes that never blink. And though they watch, they can't touch you. Though they plan, they can't prevail. Because the one who saw it first will also have the final say. So walk boldly, speak softly, and trust deeply. For the same hands that warned you are the same hands that will crown you. They have laid a dangerous trap for you, but God saw it first, and that's why you'll always come out blessed, protected, and unstoppable. And now, as you stand here, looking back at everything you've survived, remember this: you were never unprotected. Even when it felt like your world was falling apart, God was quietly building a shield around you. What looked like rejection was redirection. What felt like loss was love in disguise. What seemed delayed was actually divine timing. They tried to bury you in lies, but God covered you in truth. They tried to trap you in confusion, but God surrounded you with clarity. You are walking proof that His eyes never miss anything. Every tear you cried was seen. Every pain you felt was counted. Every betrayal was noted.